It's a direct relationship of every human being with clay. Because we are made up of clay, eventually we go back into clay.
Clay is also a really magic material, and it's a material that lends itself to sculpture at any scale, from the minute to the massive and monolithic.
Clay has a very overwhelming material presence, but along with this really strong material presence, it's almost like the artist at the threshold.
So the Triennale is really an artist-led venture, okay? And it started really, as all things start, with a series of just conversations among contemporaries. This thing that we should really do something which just showcases what all is possible in ceramics, what all is being done currently in ceramics, just extend and break all these preconceived notions, boundaries, perceived limitations that people impose on the material.
So it's always to problematize what seems like a level playing field, and to ask questions of what it means to do some work like this today. So it's not just about the artworks itself, but also as an exhibition, what is it doing and what are the questions it is asking, seeking to answer, but also questioning. Is this art? I mean, what are we talking about in this day and age? The Triennale too, a lot of the work is actually it is object based, but it is not, a lot of it is installation based. So it may not be small pedestal kind of work, which is what we associate with, with ceramics. Because Jaipur is a space for design, for architecture, for, it's a throbbing space for that, it seemed like the perfect landing space for an exhibition like this. Again, an exhibition that has not been done, an extremely ambitious exhibition, which has never been done in India before.
So we've been working on this show for about 1.5 to 2 years. We first sent out an open call, and Indian artists responded to the call. So we had 105 applications, out of which we selected 35 artists.
In this particular exhibition, we are featuring how clay or the material has been used in various different ways by different practitioners. It starts with clay for most artists, but we did not want to draw any sort of boundaries with this. We wanted also to be more inclusive, to have artists not just from different countries, but even within India, to have artists who are not predominantly ceramic artists also represented, because we feel that they've done really interesting work in clay.
What we really wanted to do was to try to create a forum where ceramic artists working in clay could actually exhibit their power and their strength and show the reaches of this material, what it can do, that the artists should try to expand their horizons and try something they've never done, you know, dare to experiment, not fear the failure, and propose something that would stretch their own abilities and also showcase how powerful ceramics can be.
So the curatorial foundation was based on experimental, experiential kind of work. Most of the works are 2018 works. They are all brand new. A lot of artists are expressing what is happening, you know, in order for us to sort of have some awareness perhaps. There's a lot of works that have political references. They're not alluding to maybe a particular period in history, but they are talking about now. Like concerns are about the wall and how we get lost by building these walls and these barriers between people, how people are building barriers one with the other, between geographies, between religion, this divisive nature of politicians perhaps that cause this kind of thing to happen. Not just India, it's everywhere these things are happening. We're seeing this happening.
Well, I think that was one of the things that the group actually wanted to do, was to break the perception of how ceramic art or clay-based practices were viewed in the country. It's happened everywhere across the world. Understand and really absorb what ceramic art was and what it could be if presented and elevated to a platform like this. So I think the expectation is really for people to see and view ceramic arts with a different lens, with a wider lens.
Triennale as being, at once a laboratory, a playground, and a stage. I mean, the whole point of the Triennale is, there are all of these really wonderful ceramics or clay-based practices happening all across the country and all over the world. And this was the place for them all to come together, to talk to each other.
I think that this experience has been extremely fulfilling. It is a vision that has really come together as a curatorial collective, but not one that was formal from the start of it.
We've actually had an overwhelming number of people that have walked through the exhibition.
I think India is ready in terms of the stage at which we are. There are more and more people engaging with this material. There are more and more people who are exploring, experimenting with this material.
In India, it was always being seen or used in a very traditional way. So we wanted to push the boundary. We wanted to see how far you can take it. And at the same time, we wanted to show what is the possibility with clay.
Artists really responded to this space as well. And I don't think that the Indian audiences have seen exhibitions in India of this scale, especially with the ceramic foam before. And that is something that is refreshing as it is very ambitious and groundbreaking.